Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 3. So as we should all know, in episode 11 of The Flash this season, which was the episode before last, so the one that had Gypsy fighting Cisco in it, well yeah, in that episode, right at the end, we saw Barry reveal to Wally, or Kid Flash, that he would have to be the one that rescues Iris from the hands of the God of Speed himself, Savitar. And due to this, with Wally looking to be the faster of the two, a lot have come to the conclusion that Wally himself will be the one to actually finally defeat Savitar. Which is an understandable conclusion to come to, seeing that Barry is currently teaching Wally all the tips and tricks, I guess you could say, of being a speedster. If this training keeps going the way it is going at the moment, then you would have to think that Wally would be at a level come the finale or second last episode of this season to actually take on and defeat Savitar. Now we will go over a few scenarios and options as to how Savitar could be defeated involving Wally. Quickly before we go over them though, if you do go on to enjoy the video and you are enjoying the Flash videos, it would be very much appreciated if you could leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comment section below what are your options and theories on how Wally could defeat Savitar, or do you think Savitar could be defeated in another way? And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. So I do have three options to go over, so be sure to hear me out and then either let me know if you agree with any of them, or as I said just then, let me know of any other options that you have in the comment section below. Now the first option is just Wally straight up defeating and rendering Savitar helpless, but as we have seen so far this season, Savitar is pretty damn powerful and much more powerful than Barry and Wally are. So for Wally to actually defeat Savitar once and for all, he would have to reduce how powerful Savitar actually is. And how could he do that? By destroying the Philosopher's Stone, of course. As we know at this moment in time, the Philosopher's Stone is somewhere in the Speed Force, and also presumably in the Speed Force is also Savitar. But obviously he is going to get out somehow, which you would have to think also means the Philosopher's Stone gets out of there as well. Now how is that going to happen? Honestly, I have no clue. It could be due to like Julian getting sucked back into the state of Dr. Alchemy, or it could be due to someone or something within the Speed Force itself, which allows both Savitar and the Philosopher's Stone to be set free. Now in this scenario, Iris would still die. I have said in other videos that I think Iris will still die this season because I think it's going to go down a track where even if you try to change the future, some things are set in stone, and one of the things that's set in stone is Iris dying. Now this isn't me saying I want Iris to die, I just think it's going to happen. It just seems like it's going to happen in my opinion. So essentially Wally isn't able to save her, he might have been fast enough to get there, but you know, Savitar, because he is what he is, he might have been able to know that they were going to do that, so he kills Iris earlier than expected, which causes Wally to go all out on Savitar and, you know, go mental on him. If Wally was to destroy the Philosopher's Stone, then I am pretty damn sure that Savitar's armor would cease to exist. And we would see him in his human form, which we sort of got a tease at earlier this season, in the mid-season finale if my memory serves me correct. I guess the big question around this would be, would he still have his speed? And I think for the sake of a somewhat entertaining finish to the season, yes, he would have his speed, but just not as fast as he was when like the Philosopher's Stone was still intact and when he was in all that armor. So Wally should easily dispatch of Savitar now in his human form, but I think this is where Black Flash will appear and take Savitar with him. We obviously saw Black Flash appear on Legends of Tomorrow recently, and even if you don't watch Legends, I'm sure you saw pictures or videos of the scene on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and everything like that. And the producers have heavily teased that Black Flash will be appearing this season. So it's not like they can take Savitar and put him in the particle accelerator pipeline or anything like that. He's either going to die due to Wally, and I don't think they would go that dark and make Wally kill Savitar, or they're going to have Black Flash appear, who is obviously the Grim Reaper for speedsters, and I think is going to be the reason how Savitar is sort of removed for the show from now. And also, who wouldn't want to see Black Flash? Like, come on, if you saw him on Legends, he was pretty damn cool, so imagine him appearing here. Barry would see him as well for the first time since, you know, the end of Season 2, when he'd be like, oh crap, that's what Zoom turned into, and look what he can do. So this would create more fear for Barry, and it could also open the door in Season 4, where we have Black Flash appearing again. He might take on Barry in some way, shape or form. So it just sets up future storylines that could include Black Flash, while ending a storyline involving Savitar. Up next is the second option. And this has to do with neither Wally or Savitar actually beating each other in like the traditional way. This has to do with something that I've mentioned a few times over this season in videos. And this has to do with Wally coaxing Savitar into running at such an extreme speed that they both end up trapped within the Speed Force, which would create a cliffhanger leading into season 4 of The Flash. Also in this scenario, Iris would die, like in the way I'm imagining it. Like in a way she wouldn't have to die for this to happen, but I think for just things to move smoother, if this scenario was going to happen, she would still die. But if this were to happen, it would not only get rid of the threat of Savitar, which in a season finale you would think would have to happen, but as I said, it would create this cliffhanger leading into season 4 where Team Flash think Wally has just died trying to beat Savitar, and also it adds more insult to injury when like Iris has just died earlier on. So we've lost 2 West children in the space of maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Now for them to make it out as if Team Flash would think Wally has just died, I'm guessing they would have to create an explosion or something at the point in time in which Wally and Savitar actually go into the Speed Force. They could also have it that Wally's suit remains behind, burnt up or something along those lines, similar to what we saw in season 2 when they try to recreate the particle accelerator explosion and Barry just, gets blown up essentially and he gets stuck in the Speed Force. I guess the only issue here is that it is similar to that moment in season 2, like even if they do leave the suit behind that's all burnt up, it's very similar. But I think if they do this and then at some point in season 4 Wally does return, he could be a different person, whether that be more powerful as a good person or possibly to the side of evil, because a lot of people do want Wally to possibly go down an evil storyline where he turns into not necessarily a reverse Flash, but definitely a villain to Barry for a short amount of time. I don't really care about that. I'd rather just see Wally remain on the side of good, but some people want him to be bad, so they might do that. And the last option is actually similar to the first option, but it involves Wally and Barry working together to team up and take down Savitar. Now, Wally would be there to rescue Iris, like it's already been sort of planned this season, and take her out of harm's way, unlike the other 2 options where she would still be killed. So Iris survives in this scenario, so a lot of people might want this scenario to happen. This could play out similar to the first episode of this season when Barry and Wally were taking on the rival in Flashpoint, but Wally obviously in that scenario didn't work as a team and ended up getting injured critically. So what I want you to picture is just a team up beat down on Savitar, and they could even involve Jay Garrick in this as well, because I think that's one thing a lot of people want is like the Flash family coming together and just wailing out on Savitar. You never know, they could bring Jesse Quick into this, depending on what's going on with her. If you watch my video from a couple of days ago, there is some stuff in around episode 16, or episode 16 it is, I think, or 15, it might be one of them, where Jesse is facing off against Savitar. So we don't know what happens to her at that point. But yeah, if she's still around, or, still alive, then she could join in on the action as well. But as the Flash is set up over the past couple of seasons, they leave on a cliffhanger all the time. So what would the cliffhanger be for this season? It could be the introduction to a new villain, even though that can be risky if they introduce someone and then there's that massive break and everyone doesn't like it, or they change the character around in some way. It can be risky to introduce a villain that early, but that could be one of the things that they do. I think one cool cliffhanger to be would be right at the end, the last minute or something, we see Captain Cold come back and he walks into a room and there's like 3 or 4 of the rogues there, and then next season, season 4, the villains are the rogues, which I think would be pretty damn awesome. That season would be extremely hard to execute, but I think they've proved on Legends of Tomorrow that you can do a team dynamic within a season and have like another evil team as the villains, and it can still work pretty well. With The Flash, it would be harder. They have more episodes and it's just a harder show to get right. But I think if they did it properly, they put their heads down and went to work with it, I think it could work as a good season. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If I was speaking a bit fast or I sounded a bit weird in this video, it is so hot in Australia at the moment. I am sweating so much, and it just, talking for like 10 minutes plus can just get like exhausting. But yeah, sorry if I sounded a bit weird. Hopefully I didn't. But if you did enjoy the video, it'd be very much appreciated if you could leave a like on it. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of all these options? What would you like the cliffhanger to be leading into season 4? Do you like my idea for the rogues being the villains? Or would you like someone like Cobalt Blue or Abracadabra or something to be the villain? Just let me know all your opinions in the comment section below. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.